He looked like any other security guard, quiet, professional, invisible. But when the bullets started flying and everyone else was running for cover, Michael Rodriguez didn't flinch. He didn't duck. He moved with a precision that only comes from one place. And 3 young terrorists were about to learn that some ghosts never truly disappear. Welcome to The Last Salute. Before we dive into this incredible story of hidden heroism and split-second courage, tell me in the comments, what city are you watching from today? And if you believe stories like this deserve to be heard, hit that subscribe button. These stories matter. Ward 7 of the Landstuhl Regional Medical Center operated like clockwork. Every morning at 0600 hours, the same security guard walked through the automatic doors. Michael Rodriguez, badge number 847, 48 years old, graying beard, steady eyes that never missed anything. The nursing staff called him Mike. The doctors barely noticed him. To everyone else, he was just another civilian contractor doing his rounds, checking doors, monitoring cameras, making sure the wounded warriors inside could heal in peace. But there were things about Mike that didn't quite add up. The way he walked, not like a rent-a-cop, but with the measured steps of someone who had learned to move silently through hostile territory. The way his eyes swept every room, not casually but systematically, always identifying exits, cover positions, potential threats, and the way he carried himself when he thought no one was looking, shoulders back, head up, like a man who had once worn eagles on his chest instead of a plastic security badge. Dr. Sarah Chen, a young army surgeon fresh from her residency at Walter Reed, had started to notice these things. At first, she thought she was imagining it. But after 3 weeks of watching Mike during her night shifts, she was certain this wasn't just any security guard. It was 2:17 a.m. on a Tuesday when everything changed. Dr. Chen was finishing her rounds in the ICU when she heard it, a soft thud from the storage room. She found Mike on the floor, unconscious, having collapsed while restocking medical supplies. No drama, no call for help. He'd just fallen. As she knelt beside him to check his pulse, his sleeve rode up. That's when she saw it, a tattoo. Faded, scarred over, barely visible, but unmistakable to anyone who knew what to look for. A skull with crossed arrows behind it, not some biker club ink. This was Delta Force, the most elite unit in the US Army. Mike's eyes fluttered open. "Doc, I'm fine, just stood up too fast." But Dr. Chen was staring at his arm. "That tattoo, that's not something you get at a parlor downtown, is it?" Mike's expression went completely neutral. "Professional." "I don't know what you mean. The skull and arrows, that's Delta Force." For a moment, the air in that storage room became heavy with the weight of recognition. Mike slowly pulled his sleeve down and sat up. "Doc, you're mistaken. I'm just security." But his voice carried something else now. Authority, command presence, the kind of voice that had once given orders in places that didn't exist on any map. Dr. Chen helped him to his feet. "How long ago?" "Long enough," was all he said. She didn't push, didn't ask about operations or deployments or the scars she could now see peeking out from under his collar. She just nodded. "Your secret's safe with me." Mike looked at her for a long moment. "There are no secrets, Doc, just different ways of serving." Over the next 2 weeks, Dr. Chen found herself watching Mike differently. She noticed how he memorized every patient's room number, every staff schedule, every delivery time. She saw him slip extra blankets to shivering soldiers and somehow always be there when family members needed directions. He wasn't just providing security, he was standing guard over his brothers. The attack came on a Thursday morning, 0847 hours. Shift change time when the hospital was at its most vulnerable. Mike was reviewing camera feeds in the security office when the first alarm went off. Not a medical emergency, not a fire drill. The lockdown alarm. The one that meant hostile forces had entered the building. Through the monitor screens he watched it unfold in real time. 3 men, black tactical gear, automatic weapons, moving with military precision through the main entrance. This wasn't random violence. This was planned, professional. And they were heading straight for Ward 7, where 23 wounded American soldiers lay helpless in their beds. Mike's hand moved to his radio. "All units code black. Hostile forces in the building. Initiate lockdown protocols." But even as he spoke, he knew the truth. The hospital's security team consisted of 6 guards, only 2 of whom were armed. The nearest military police unit was 15 minutes away. The local German police would need at least 20 minutes to respond. Those soldiers upstairs didn't have 15 minutes. Mike opened his desk drawer. Inside was something that wasn't supposed to be there. A Sig Sauer P320, fully loaded. He'd carried it every day for 3 years, hoping he'd never need it. Today, hope ran out. The elevator was compromised. Mike took the stairs, 3 at a time, moving with the fluid efficiency of a man who had spent decades preparing for this moment. He could hear the chaos above. Screams, gunfire, the sound of medical equipment being overturned. On the 7th floor landing, he paused. Through the door's window, he could see one of the attackers moving methodically down the hallway, checking each room. Behind him, patients and staff were pressed against the walls, terror written across their faces. Mike's training took over. 27 years of muscle memory and tactical experience compressed into a single moment of cold, calculated action. The first attacker never saw him coming. Mike moved through the door like smoke, covering the 30-foot distance in seconds. No dramatic confrontation, no movie dialogue, just swift, silent elimination. 1 down. The gunfire from the east wing told him where the other 2 were. Mike moved through the corridor like a ghost, using the hospital beds and equipment as cover. Every step was deliberate, every angle calculated. He found the second attacker in room 714, standing over Sergeant Martinez, a triple amputee who couldn't even sit up in bed. The terrorist was raising his weapon when Mike appeared in the doorway. "Hey!" The single word carried enough authority to make the attacker turn. It was the last mistake he ever made. 2 down. The third one was smart, experienced. He'd taken a position in the central nurses' station with clear lines of sight down 3 corridors. Patients and medical staff were scattered around him like human shields. This wouldn't be quick or easy. Mike keyed his radio. "This is Rodriguez. Floors 1 through 6 are clear. Threat is contained to 7. Do not send anyone up here." Dr. Chen's voice crackled back. "Mike, help is coming. Just stay safe." Safe. Mike almost smiled. He'd stopped worrying about safe a long time ago. The final confrontation lasted 8 minutes. 8 minutes of tactical chess played with life and death stakes. Mike used every piece of cover, every shadow, every lesson learned in 2 decades of special operations. He moved through that hospital floor like he owned it, cutting off escape routes, denying the terrorist any advantage. The attacker was skilled, disciplined. He'd clearly had military training, but he made one critical error. He thought he was fighting a hospital security guard. He wasn't. He was fighting Master Sergeant Michael Ghost Rodriguez, Delta Force, recipient of 2 Silver Stars and a Bronze Star with Valor. A man who had spent 15 years hunting terrorists in places that didn't appear on CNN. When it ended, the silence was deafening. Mike stood in the hallway, weapon lowered, surrounded by the grateful faces of patients and staff who were alive because of what he'd done. His security uniform was torn. Blood, not his own, stained his hands. That's when the army arrived. Not the hospital security team, not the local police. A full special operations team, armed and ready for war. Their leader, a young captain with ranger tabs, took one look at Mike and stopped cold. "Ghost, what the hell are you doing here?" Dr. Chen stared at the exchange, finally understanding. "Ghost?" The captain nodded slowly. "Ma'am, you're looking at a legend. This man has more confirmed kills than anyone in Delta Force history. If there was trouble here today, it's over now." Mike handed his weapon to the captain. "Building is secure. 3 KIA. No friendly casualties." "Jesus, Ghost. We thought you disappeared after Afghanistan." "I did," Mike said quietly. "Been right here for 3 years. Standing watch." In the days that followed, the story came out in pieces. Not in newspapers or on television. Those stories were classified, but in quiet conversations between people who had earned the right to know. Michael Rodriguez had been one of the most decorated soldiers in Delta Force history. Mogadishu, Iraq, Afghanistan, places where American soldiers had gone to fight, and Michael Rodriguez had gone to bring them home. His last mission had gone wrong. Not tactically, he'd completed the objective, but something inside him had broken. Too many friends lost. Too many missions where success was measured in body counts rather than lives saved. So he'd done something almost unprecedented in special operations. He'd walked away. No fanfare, no book deals, no talk show circuits. He'd found a job where he could keep serving without having to kill, where he could protect the warriors who came home broken and help them heal. Dr. Chen found him 2 weeks later, back at his post in the security office, watching the monitors like nothing had happened. "Why didn't you tell anyone who you were?" Mike didn't look up from the screens. "Doc, I'm exactly who I said I was. I'm security. I keep people safe. The rest is just history." But now the hospital knew, not the full story. That would remain classified forever. But they knew enough. When Mike walked through Ward 7 now, patients nodded with deeper respect. Staff members smiled with genuine gratitude, and sometimes, late at night, Dr. Chen would see him standing in doorways, just watching over his sleeping soldiers. Some heroes wear capes, others wear uniforms covered in ribbons and medals, and some wear plastic security badges and carry nothing but the quiet knowledge that they're exactly where they need to be. Michael Ghost Rodriguez never wanted to be remembered as a hero. He just wanted to serve, to protect, to stand watch over those who had given everything for their country. In Ward 7 of Landstuhl Regional Medical Center, that's exactly what he did, every single day. So tell me, have you ever encountered someone like Michael? Someone whose quiet presence spoke louder than any uniform or decoration? Share their story in the comments below. And if this story moved you, subscribe to The Last Salute. We're here to honor the warriors who never stopped serving, even after the war was over. Next week, we'll tell you about the mechanic who fixed cars by day and saved lives by night. You won't want to miss it. Until then, remember, heroes aren't always the ones making headlines. Sometimes they're the ones making sure everyone else can sleep safely.